fashion for creating trilogies of films has well and truly crept into game development, with franchises like Mass Effect being created with every intention of releasing 3 parts. Too Human is another such franchise, this time from respected Canadian developer Silicon Knights. The setting is a sci-fi future inspired by Norse mythology, where the gods rule over and protect humanity. You play Balder, a fairly minor deity in the grand scheme of things, as you go to war against an army of machines. The game fashions itself as an action RPG, and plays rather like a mix of Devil May Cry and Mass Effect, only without the depth of the combat of the first, or depth of story of the second. So, rather than getting a game that offers the best of both worlds, you rather get one that doesn't quite succeed in either.
Ah, here he is.
Early on, you will undoubtedly marvel at the frenetic pace of the fights and the huge number of enemies on screen. The mix of sword and gunplay really is seamless, and juggling, which involves gravity-defying mid-air combat, is rather a lot of fun. The problem is that after a couple of hours of hacking and slashing through the endless hordes of enemy robots, you'll have seen almost all of what the combat has to offer, and the repetitiveness of the environments you fight through, enemies you face, and the moves you unleash begins to take its toll. The AI teammates that join you on your missions are also a complete waste of time. They're entirely useless in combat and serve up the same inane banter over and over again.
Permission to drop the hammer, sir?
So, perhaps the story can hold your interest. No, not really. For a start, if describing the game as an RPG has made you think of a non-linear, interactive story, perish the thought. You have no choice in what Balder says or does in terms of the story. What's worse is that, like most of the other gods you meet through the game, Balder is arrogant, obnoxious, and irritatingly dull. Will the gods survive the epic battle against the machines? Who cares? They're all jerks anyway.
Why are you goggling at the whore of the gods when you could be sparring with me?
So that leaves just one element to driving through the game, collecting loot, and to an extent it actually works. Defeating enemies gives you experience points to level up your character and unlocks more advanced weapons and armour. The variety of these items is genuinely mind-boggling, meaning no 2 Balders ever look the same, and grinding away at the bad guys so that you can upgrade your character will be very addictive to some. The problem, though, is that many players will tire of the repetitive combat and vague story before they've even completed the 10 to 15 hour campaign for the first time, and even fewer will be inclined to put in the further 70 to 80 hours necessary to reach level 50 and discover the rarest items. True, the co-op mode does add an extra dimension to the combat, but the fact that this mode misses the story entirely seems inexplicable. If you are the kind of person who enjoys grinding through endless quantities of enemies in order to collect items and customise your character, Too Human may well be right up your street. But we reckon most people will have had their fill of the game within about 4 hours. Maybe part 2 will be the real deal.
That felt good!